What is going on, beautiful people of the world? My name is Garrett Wolf, and I am the host of the #1 podcast for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs. I've built my body over the last 8 years, and in the last 3 years, I've helped hundreds of online clients shred unwanted fat and embody the best version of themselves. Now, let's jump right into today's show. Oh, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Alpha Movement Podcast. This is the #1 show for people who are trying to go from saggy flabs to six-pack abs, all without giving up the most enjoyable aspects of their life. In today's episode, I want to talk to you guys about the fastest way to increase your metabolism, why you have a slow metabolism, how you can increase it in the fastest way possible, and all things having to do with metabolism, burning calories, and a nice little comment that I got on a TikTok video that actually went viral yesterday when I posted it. It was last night and it went viral overnight. It's at about 25,000 views, and it got a lot of controversial comments that I want to go over in this video, kind of cover a little bit and kind of clear up some of the information and misinformation that might be spreading around the internet. As we all know, this misinformation spreads like wildfire. All right, so you guys already know the deal. If at any point in this episode you enjoy what I have to say or you take some value from this podcast, then please screenshot my face, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at _Garrett Wolf, and I will reshare it to my story and send you a free gift. Other than that, guys, we're talking about the fastest way to increase your metabolism. And so, spoiler alert, I'm going to give you guys the fastest way right now. The fastest way to actually increase your metabolism is to increase your muscle mass, right? So there's a common misconception going around TikTok right now. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but they're saying, I got this comment like at least 5 or 6 times on this video that I posted. They're saying that a pound of fat, let me see if I can remember this correctly. They're saying a pound of fat, no, sorry, 10 pounds of fat only burns an extra 7 to 15 calories, right? Think about that for a second. They're saying that 10 pounds of fat, I got this comment over and over like 5 or 6 times on this video, that 10 pounds of fat only burns 7 to 15 extra calories. And this is completely not true. In fact, the fastest way to increase your metabolism, to actually burn more calories throughout the day, is to gain more muscle. And I can disprove this right now, right? So I want to get into that a little bit. I want to get into kind of why this is completely incorrect, why this is misinformation, how you can kind of take away some information for yourself, how to increase your own metabolism. And so, the point of increasing your metabolism is so that you can cut down body fat efficiently and not have to go on a starvation diet of 1200 to 1600 calories, which is just not sustainable for the long term. And if you think about the typical sequence, we talk about the statistic all the time, is that 80% of dieters fail, right? They regain the weight that they lost 6 to 12 months down the line. And that's because typically most people already have a sort of fucked up metabolism, for lack of a better word. And then they try to go on these starvation diets of 1200 to 1600 calories, and they can lose a little bit of weight at first. But then what happens is they cannot sustain this weight loss because nobody wants to eat 1500 calories for the rest of their life, right? I certainly don't. I know you certainly don't. And so, how can you avoid this? How can you avoid eating just 1500 calories a day for the rest of your life? Is it possible to actually eat something like 2500 calories all the way up to 3000 calories every single day on a cut and still lose weight and still maintain a weight loss journey sufficiently? And all the ins and outs of how you can apply it to your life so you can actually increase your metabolism and not stick to these starvation crash diets that don't work for anybody in the long term. You'd have to be like a golden unicorn, someone that can actually eat 1500 calories a day and be satisfied with your life and not be like completely depressed and anxious all day long. Because when you get to this ferociously low amount of calories, it starts to impair things like brain function. It starts to keep you dehydrated, demotivated, make you really not want to pursue life. It can decrease your hormones like testosterone. You can increase in ghrelin and cortisol, which is the stress hormone in your brain, making you kind of just stressed out and anxious all day. And it's just not a good place to live. It's not a good place to be, right? And the reason you can't just stick to 1500 calories every single day is because you're not getting the right micronutrients, right? There's a certain amount of micronutrients that you need in your diet to sufficiently sustain your lifestyle and a healthy, neurological function, a healthy brain function, a healthy overall just healthy body. You need to maintain this, and you cannot maintain it on 1500 calories. So Let me talk about the viral video for a second. So there was a video of this skinnier gentleman, right? He was a skinnier person. I would guess he's got to be like 140, 150 pounds, right? Mind you, I'm 154 pounds. I weighed in this morning, right? So here's the difference. So he's skinnier, right? He's skinny, same weight, 140, 150 pounds. If I had to guess, he's got to be like 150 pounds because he's a full grown adult. There's no way you're a full grown adult, 140 pounds. And he was decently tall too. He had to be 5'9, 5'10. So there's no way he's 140 pounds, right? So he's probably 150, 160 pounds. He could even weigh more than me, right? And he was talking about how you cannot maintain a shredded diet because for the same reasons that I just mentioned, you have to eat 1500, 1200 calories every single day. And this is the dark side of being shredded. This is why you can't really be shredded year round. You can't really maintain it. You can't really stick to it. And so I made a little duet video. I duetted his video. And it was like, the little stitch feature where it's 5 seconds of his video and then I pop up. And the first 5 seconds of his video was like here's the dark sides of getting diced like an onion or something. If you guys want to see the video, you can go to my TikTok @_Garrett Wolf and check it out for yourself. But he's like, this is why you cannot maintain being diced like an onion, right? And then I come in and I'm like, sorry, homie, but the reason you probably can't maintain being diced like an onion is because you don't have enough muscle mass. Your metabolism's too low, so you have to eat 1200, 1500 calories a day. And that's why you can't maintain it. And people just fucking tried to tried to tear into me, right? These people came into my comments and they were like, bro, you realize like 10 pounds of muscle only burns 7 to 15 extra calories, right? Google says that. And so I made a couple stitch videos this morning replying to these comments. And I was like, this is just not true. This is misinformation. This is incredibly incorrect. If you guys want to learn about muscle mass and metabolism, I would suggest reading The Resistance Training Revolution by Sal DiStefano. He's a Mind Pump podcast host, and he's just super knowledgeable about this stuff. And in this book, he talks about how the best way to increase your metabolism is to gain more muscle mass. Let me give you guys an example. I'm cutting right now for a competition. I'm 6 weeks out of a men's physique bodybuilding show, and I'm cutting on 2,000 calories a day, which is pretty good, right? This is like the typical average that you would want to eat as an average American. They say eat a standard 2,000 calorie diet, right? So I can get sufficient micronutrients. Mind you, I'm still hungry, and I'll get into that in a second, but I can get sufficient micronutrients from 2,000 calories a day. Now, the reason I'm still hungry is because I'm still in a calorie deficit, right? I'm still losing fat. I'm still burning more calories throughout the day than it is that I'm consuming. And that's why I'm hungry. That's the hunger response. But this skinnier gentleman, he has to eat 15 to 1,600 calories every single day to actually lose weight. And this is not something you can sustain. This is not a sufficient amount of calories to give you enough micronutrients so that you can actually flourish and grow and thrive. So that's why he can't sustain it. And this misinformation going around TikTok that muscle doesn't burn a lot of calories is completely incorrect. In fact, muscle is the most thermoactive tissue on your body, meaning it burns the most calories throughout the day out of any other system in your body. Right, more than the digestive system, more than all the other systems at rest. Mind you, you might be able to burn more through structural systems, anatomical systems by walking maybe or exercising, right? Those are non-structural, non-anatomical systems that do burn more calories than having muscle. But muscle is the most thermoactive tissue on your body, meaning it burns the most calories at rest by you doing nothing, by you just sitting there than any other tissue in your body. So, if you think about this, the best way to increase your metabolic rate without going for walks, without resistance training, hit cardio, going for runs, swims, whatever, hikes, jogs, the best way to increase your base metabolic rate, the metabolism that you have, the calories that you burn every single day without doing anything else is to just increase your muscle mass. And this is the prescription that I give to all the skinny fat people that come to me. And skinny fat people are just NARPs. They're non-athletic regular people who don't do a lot of exercise, who don't burn a lot of calories throughout the day, and they have a typical normal metabolism. They have a standard metabolism, right? And they usually want to cut down fat right away because they're pretty unhappy, they're pretty unconfident with their body, and they just want to cut down right away because they think that they're going to be happier if they lose the body fat. When in fact, they're not going to be happier because it's going to mess with your neurons, it's going to mess with your function, and you're not going to be able to sustain a 1,500 calorie diet for the rest of your life. It's just not possible. And so the advice that I give to newbie lifters when you're kind of trying to get a more aesthetic body, or when you're trying to gain muscle and lose fat, you can't do it at the same time. Most people can't, right? I can for a extended, not an extended, but a light period of time. I'm doing it right now for a competition, matter of fact, but you can't sustain that for a long time. It's really hard. You can do some caloric repartitioning, but it's really, really hard to sustain losing fat and gaining muscle at the same time. So you have to try to do one thing at a time. So the best course of action would be to gain muscle for like a year, 2 years. If you can really sustain it for that long, that's going to be the best way to build a nice foundation of muscle. Not to mention, you can take full advantage of newbie gains. Don't go in a gigantic surplus, because then you're going to gain a bunch of fat. Just do like a 200 to 300 calorie surplus. Do a little bit of main gaining for a nice 1 to 2 years. Pack on some muscle. This is going to ramp up your metabolism, and it's definitely going to help you shred body fat later on. All right. It's really going to increase your metabolism. I theorize, I'm not a scientist, right? And I haven't done studies, but on myself, comparing my starting weight, when I started at 14 years old, I was 195 pounds, same height. So 5'10, 195 pounds. I was like a bowling ball, very skinny fat. And I went about it the wrong way. I started doing HIIT cardio. I went into a huge calorie deficit. I got down to like 1,100 calories every single day. It was bad, right? I was starving myself, and I still feel effects of that starvation 8 years later to this day. So it really does mess you up, guys. It really, really does mess you up for a long time if you go about it in the wrong way. But the point is, I was 195 pounds and I had to eat 1,100 calories to cut body fat. Now I'm 155 pounds and I can eat 2,000 calories and I still lose body fat. So if you just think about that for a second, I'm eating 900 more calories. I'm 40 pounds less, which means if you think about that, I should be burning less calories, because someone who's bigger should be burning more calories because they just have more tissue, more to move around, more to kind of sustain, more for the blood to go through and in and out of. Fatter, not fatter, but bigger people burn more calories throughout the day, right? So me at 195 pounds, I had to eat 1,100 calories to lose weight. But now me at 155 pounds, mostly muscle, way less fat. Before I was mostly fat, way less muscle. I can eat 2,000 calories a day and still lose weight. You see what I'm saying? So I got an extra like 900 calories of caloric burn just by adding some muscle mass onto my frame. And I'll give you another example, another proof of why these TikTok kids are just so goddamn wrong. And TikTok is hilarious, right? I want to tell you guys a little TikTok story right after I disprove this TikTok notion that 10 pounds of calories only burns 15, or 10 pounds of muscle only burns 15 calories. Completely incorrect. Here's an example. My younger brother, he's 2 years younger than me. He can only lose weight on a 1,600 calorie deficit, or a 16, not deficit, 1,600 a day calorie intake, calorie consumption, right? He's bigger than me. He's 6'2, he's 195 pounds. I'm 5'10, 155 pounds. Now, I'm mostly muscle, not a lot of fat. He's like a nice mixture. He's got a decent amount of muscle because he trained with me for the past 2, 3, 4 years. He's got a decent amount of muscle, not a ton, but to give you an idea, he can bench 225, he can deadlift 315, he can OHP something like 115, so pretty decent. And he can't really do pull-ups or dips, anything like that, weighted dips, but he's pretty strong, right? Just that's kind of a baseline. Again, he's 6'2, 195 pounds, way bigger than me. He should be burning a lot more calories than me throughout the day, right? But he's not. He's simply not, because I have more muscle in comparison to the rest of my body, right? You have to put it in comparison, in contrast to the rest of your bodily structure. So he's got a decent amount of muscle, but he's also got a decent amount of fat. And it's not a whole lot of muscle. It's not a fuck ton of muscle. It's a decent amount of muscle. And so he has to eat 1,600 to 1,800 calories to lose weight every single day. And I can eat 2,000, and I'm 155 pounds, mostly muscle, less fat. So this just disproves these TikTokers right there, that this notion that muscle doesn't burn a whole lot of calories is completely incorrect. It's completely false. Muscle is the most thermoactive tissue on your body. If you gain muscle, you will burn more calories throughout the day. It is the best way, in fact, to increase your metabolism, to increase your base metabolic rate, is to add muscle onto your body. All right, guys? So that just kind of that ends it right there. That's like a case closed. Now I want to talk about these TikTokers, because they're pissing me off, dude. They think they're so smart, and I go to it's hilarious, right? It's hilarious because they try insulting me. They think they're so funny. They come to my page and they're like, "Bro, you have less muscle than him." It's like, "Bro, you're skinnier than he is." He's like, "Bro, like that guy has more muscle than you." It's like, dude, if that were true, he wouldn't have to eat 1,500 calories a day. First of all, and second of all, if that were true, like he wouldn't be struggling and making this video saying it's so hard to lose fat if he had a lot of muscle, because everybody knows this. And listen, let me just prove it in another way. You know, power lifters, like, I'm not talking about power lifters, I'm talking about strong men. You know, strong men like Eddie Hall, like Thor Bjornsson, right? All these strong men. Why do you think that they eat 10 to 15,000 calories a day when they're training for a meet, for a competition? Why would you eat 10 to 15,000 calories a day if you don't have to? I'll tell you why. It's because they're so goddamn strong. They have so much goddamn muscle on their body, and they typically weigh like 250 to 300 pounds. And that's why they have to eat 10 to 15,000 calories a day. Do you think they want to stuff themselves? Do you think they want to stuff their face with literal buckets of pasta, with literal pounds of chicken breast every single day? No, but they have to because their metabolism is so goddamn fast from all the muscle that they have that if they don't eat that much, they're not going to gain strength. So they literally have to eat 10 to 15,000 calories every single day just to gain some strength because their metabolism is so goddamn fast because they have so much goddamn muscle. So if you think about it, it just really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense that having more muscle is going to not equate to burning more calories throughout the day. It's really just not true. And these TikTokers, they're so funny because they come and they're like, bro, like, where's your study? Like, reference a study. And then I click on the guy that says that. He's 14 years old with no profile picture and two videos posted on his TikTok. You can tell that this kid gets all his fucking information from TikTok and knows absolutely nothing. Anyone who's ever trained someone in real life, anyone who actually has clients and trains people in the real world knows that your metabolism is completely different from person to person, right? And it depends heavily on how much muscle that they have, right? This is something that you need to understand because in order for you to lose fat in a in a healthy manner, you don't want to go on a starvation diet. It's really going to mess up your levels of your hormones in your body and it's going to mess up your mood, it's going to mess up your mindset and you might develop some eating disorders. And it's really really harsh on the body to do stuff like that. So what you want to do if you want to get like a more physically active body, a more aesthetic body, whatever you want to call it, you need to add on some muscle, right? And I don't think I'm gigantic, right? I don't think I'm huge. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm 155 pounds shredded. I think that's pretty small. That's decently small. I think my genetic potential would be somewhere around 170, 180 pounds shredded. And I'm going to strive for that. After this competition, I'm going to strive to pack on muscle. I'm probably going to bulk for the next 8 months to a year. And I'm really excited about that actually, because recently I've been eating incredibly clean. I've been eating a lot of meats, a lot of vegetables, a lot of clean starches like rice and